get started with the exercise. So once again, check the surroundings. Make sure that you have nothing you can trip on, step on. Okay, and still we're gonna work on the posture first. So lift your chest up a little bit, pull your shoulders, spread your shoulders rather, so don't pull it back like this. Just make it a little wider. Kind of push the chin kind of a little down and a little backwards. Okay, and for most people, maybe tuck in your tailbone a little bit. Okay, so everything is aligned. Okay, so let's take a deep breath in. Okay, and a deep breath out. Okay, all the meanwhile trying to get yourself a little taller. So you're gonna try to pull your head up towards the ceiling and then pull your shoulders down away from the ears. Okay, and still be able to take a breath in. Okay, and take a breath out. Okay, let's do something similar. We're going to tilt your head sideways a little bit first. Okay, and we're going to take a breath in. Okay, and we'll take a breath out. Try to pull our shoulders down. Feel a little bit of stretch on the side. Okay, and let's do about 3 to 5 times. Okay, all the meanwhile, still trying to stay up, bring your chest up. Okay, come back to center, and when you're ready, same thing on the other side. Tilt your head, so try to pull your ear up to the ceiling and try to lift the shoulders up first. Okay, and as you go down, breathe out. Try to pull your shoulders away from the ears. Okay, once again, 3 to 5 times. Okay, and go back. Okay, let's move ahead, forward and back actually a little bit. So let's try to push the head forward a little bit. Okay, and try to tuck our chin once again. Tuck our chin down a little bit and push it back. Okay, kind of making a double chin. Okay, and just kind of forward. Okay, and back. Just 3 to 5 times. Okay, let's do the same thing with our shoulders. So we're going to try to stay still for the trunk. We're going to reach forward a little bit. Okay, as you come back, try to squeeze the shoulder blades back. It's probably easier if you also bring your elbows back and really try to squeeze the shoulders together. Okay, so try to really reach forward with your fingertips. Okay, and try to pull your elbows back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Okay, so you can probably breathe out as you reach forward. Okay, and breathe in as you come back. Okay, and shake it out. Okay, let's just complete a circle by rolling our shoulders. Okay, just a couple of times forward, a couple of times back. Okay, let's also rotate our spine. Okay, just rotating. Okay, let's exaggerate by really reaching. Actually, let's use a chair this time, just to really exaggerate the motion. So you're just going to have a chair or a table. Okay, and you just imagine to push it away. So my chair doesn't really slide very well, so I'm going to push myself away. Okay, so kind of still having a straight line from the hips, from the shoulders to the ears. Okay, but just push it away for a little bit. Okay, and then you try to reach into your armpits. Okay, kind of breathing out. Okay, so you breathe in, elbows going behind you. Okay, so we're really rotating through the upper spine. Okay, so breathing in. Okay, so from the front, let's see if this is okay. So be okay. So we're going to reach underneath into your armpit. Go rotate into it. Okay, and then same thing but opposite direction. Okay, and check it out, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so from this angle, once again, we're going to try to push either the chair away or push ourselves away. Knees can be bent. Okay, I'm going to just rotate and reach, breathing out. Okay, and elbows on behind you. Breathing out as you reach to your armpit. Breathing in as you open the chest. Okay, and shaking out again. Okay, let's move the hips a little bit more. Okay, so try to not rotate through the upper body, but just rotate side to side, rotating through the lower body as well. Okay, and let's just rotate our hips. Okay, so we're going to just have maybe your heel on the ground, and you're going to rotate your toes in and out, okay, without moving the rest of your body. Okay, so you should feel the motion in your hip joint. Okay, and same thing on the other side. Okay, see if you can gently kind of reach a little further than maybe what you're used to. You might even get like a cramp feeling. So don't push too hard, but just try to explore, see how far you can rotate. Okay, and let's move for the ankles. You're just kind of tilting our feet side to side. Okay, and let's go front to back. So going on up on the toes and then going up on our heels, rocking back and forth. Okay, and we're gonna work it back up. So we're still gonna stick with the ankles for now, but let's try to stand on one foot a little bit. Okay, and just try to draw a big circle through the ankles. See if you can move your toes a little bit as well. Okay, so let someone in. Okay, and when you're ready, just the same thing on the other side. Okay, so let's go to the ankles and the hips. Sorry, the knee and the hip again. So once again, we're gonna stand on one leg. Okay, and imagine you're just stirring something, a big pot, but with our foot. Okay, so from the front, you're kind of rotating for the hips. Okay, but also kind of straightening and bending our knee as well. Okay, see if you can draw a big circle all the way around. Move your ankles along as well. Okay, and same thing on the other side. Might be easier if your chair is not in the way. Okay, so once again, maybe small circle first. Okay, let's see if you can maybe stir towards the inside a little bit more. Stir in front, stir to the outside, stir in or backwards. Okay, and change direction when you want to. Okay, so now I want to exaggerate the hip motion now. Okay, so what we're going to do is that we're going to kind of reach back with our one foot first. Okay, imagine there's a big box beside you. Okay, and you're just going to step kind of up and over the box and put your foot back there. Okay, so you can start off with a smaller box, okay, and then see if you can step over a bigger box. Okay, and see if you can still stay upright. Okay, so see if you can not kind of slouch, but see if you can stay upright, really reach back. Okay, see if you can really lift the knee up all the way. Okay, once again, just work within your pain-free range of motion. So certain range just follow you. Step back a little bit of discomfort can be okay, but listen to your body. Okay, so start off reaching back. Okay, step over a smaller box first. Okay, when that feels okay, then see if you can step over a bigger box. Okay, and if that still feels okay, maybe even a bigger box afterwards. Okay, just 3 to 5 times. Okay, walking back up to the hips and the spine. Let's relax our upper back. Okay, just draw a circle of our hips now. Okay, so your spine should be relaxed, so it should be able to kind of side bend, kind of extend, kind of all the way around. And same thing on the other side. Okay, back up to the shoulders. Okay, so this one, we are going to reach inwards. So see if you can have your chest pointing mostly forward. So I'm not rotating from my hips. I'm not rotating so much from my spine. So my hips and my chest stays forward, but I'm reaching inwards with the arms. Okay, and you're trying to really reach as far as you can. Reach up. Okay, your thumbs will be facing kind of backwards. You see if you can reach behind you a little bit more. Okay, and slowly rotate your thumb downwards. As imagine someone is handing you something and you reach for it and then coming back there. Okay, so repeat on this from this angle, be reaching in, reaching up, reaching back, start to rotate your thumb down, reach behind you. Okay, and back there. Okay, maybe one more time. Okay, so it's a really exaggerated circle, mostly through moving our shoulders. Okay, and same thing on the other side. Okay, so you're going to reach inwards first. So maybe take a little gentle, more gentle at the top. Sorry, the first time. Okay, thumbs are facing back. Okay, see if you can rotate your arm or your thumb down, reach behind you, and down. Okay, 2 more times. Okay, if it feels okay, see if you can exaggerate the motion, try to reach a little further all the way around. Okay, and let's rotate through the lower part of our arms first. Okay, so shoulder stays kind of wide. Okay, and just try to rotate everything below all the way in. So try to really reach your thumb back. Okay, and do the opposite. Really try to rotate. Try to push the pinky forward as far as you're able to. Okay, rotate the opposite way again. Okay, but once again, we're not kind of slouching. We're still staying upright. Okay, but we're trying to rotate kind of everything down below a little bit more. Okay, just a couple of times. Okay, so trying to move your hands as well, but really trying to reach your thumbs back. Really try to reach your pinky forward. Okay, and let's end off by just rotating through our wrist. Okay, rotating through each finger. Okay, just 1 or 2 times per direction. Okay, and just kind of wiggle all your fingers, bend your thumbs, bend each fingers, shake it out. Okay, so now let's go on to the aerobic part. So let's get back into motion. Okay, so we're just moving any way you like. Okay, usually what's easier will be just marching. Okay, but once again, check your posture, see if you can, once again, lift your chest up a little bit, widen your shoulders. Okay, maybe tuck your tailbone down slightly, tuck your chin slightly, take a breath in and out. Okay, and pay attention to where you're breathing in. So we're trying to breathe into our diaphragm, which is around our stomach area. Okay, so as you breathe in, this posture stick out. As you breathe out, this posture sink back in. Okay, so we actually didn't really move the neck side to side too much. Okay, so while we're marching, let's rotate. Let's look side to side a little bit. I forgot to set the timer. Okay, so we're aiming for about 10 minutes. Okay, so maybe look up and down a little bit as well while we are slowly increasing our pace. Okay, let's move the arms a little more. So forward and back a few times. Okay, see if you can maybe do it slightly differently. So diagonally, see if you can still have your arms alternate between which one is up top. Okay, and the same thing, just in the opposite direction. Okay, just kind of explore what is easy, what is difficult. Okay, and maybe a couple of times. Just rotating again. Okay, rotating one at a time. Okay, really exaggerate. Kind of elbow once again, see if you can elbow something behind you. Okay, now really exaggerate, see if you can rotate your entire arm up. Okay, and maybe now a little bit faster, a little bit bigger motion if that feels okay. Same thing in the opposite direction. Okay, so let's speed up a little bit. Okay, so start off simple, just move up and forward and back a little bit. Okay, we're gonna add one more step, and then reach forward, kick up one leg, go back, okay, and alternate between which leg or which knee you're lifting up. Okay, forward and step with our knee at the end. Okay, same thing, but we're going to try to kick a little more forward. So really stick your foot out as you reach forward. Okay, a little bit of a balance. A little bit of a stretch. It also trains the hip flexors a little bit, which is usually weak for most people because we tend to sit a lot. Okay, now let's try to just go a little bit faster, forward and back. Okay, so we're going to focus on the backwards this time. So instead of doing something in the front, we're going to do something at the back. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a, as you reach the end, you're going to take a step and rotate and look behind you. Okay, so make sure you have enough space behind. Okay, but you can do at the end, take a step, come back. Okay, same thing. Take a step, kind of rotate your body, okay, and come back. Okay, so let's do something similar but slightly different. So instead of just doing it one at a time, so I'm just going to check. Okay, so yeah, I would definitely do that exercise again afterwards. Okay, so but for this part, instead of just doing it in one direction, see if you can do it in both directions. So step, step, okay, and then come back. Okay, but I want you to alternate between which direction you start with. So a little bit of memorization going on. So I don't quite remember as well. So I'm going to remember I started the right last time. So now I'm going to start the left and then right. Okay, so kind of using our brain at the same time. Okay, so once again, try to remember which direction you started with last time. Okay, and change it. I hope I'm actually changing direction myself as well, but that's part of exercising. It's not just doing something by itself, but also a little bit of mental effort as well. Okay, so now let's try to speed it up once again, okay, if you feel comfortable. Okay, now let's do the same thing, but just sideways. Okay, so just a couple of steps side to side. Okay, so now let's also do reach. I think we did that last time, so just try to can we reach in any direction? So it could be a little lower first. Okay, maybe reach in the middle. Okay, maybe reach a little high up. Okay, and then back down. So back to the middle. Okay, and okay, so now let's once again try to keep our pace. Okay, about 5 minutes in. Okay, so let's shake it a little bit. Take a breath in, see how we're feeling. Okay, if it's easy for you, once again, try to speed up a little bit. If it's hard for you, feel free to slow back down as well. Okay, so I'm trying to go a little faster for myself. Okay, so let's try to do some kind of footwork. Okay, so we're trying to just stay in place, but we are kind of getting our feet a little wider and a little bit closer. Okay, so now a little difficult, so more difficult. So we're going to try to maintain this pattern where we're moving our feet in and out. Okay, but we're also moving kind of forward. Okay, and also backwards as well. So kind of like a drill that maybe football players might do. Okay, so just to practice being able to move your feet more quickly. Okay, so once again, you can slow it down. So you're still stepping kind of in and out. Okay, by the same time, you're also moving forward and back. Okay, so if you want, you can try to really speed this up. Okay, or once again, just practice the pattern first by slowing down a little bit. Okay, kind of same thing now. So, but we actually go kind of forward and back now. So we're going to take one step forward, one step back almost. Okay, so a couple of steps forward, a couple of steps back. Okay, but now I'm going to try to move forward and back. Sorry, not forward and back, side to side. Okay, so we're going to step forward, step back, step forward, step back. Okay, slowing down will be step forward, step back. Okay, and you're just moving sideways a little bit at the same time. Okay, so you can imagine just dodging something We need to have quick feet to dodge if something like a door comes swinging. All of a sudden, you can quickly step back a little bit. I'm actually not very good at this. Okay, and now a little bit more of a step, crossover step. Okay, so you're gonna step forward. So it's kind of the same thing, but add a little bit more rotation to it. So as you step forward, try to see if you can reach sideways a little more. Okay, so for this one, probably slow it down a little bit first. So it's a little bit of more of a rotation for the hip. So as you step back, see if you can reach behind a little more. So this one, probably slow it down a little bit first to get used to it. So you're actually just rotating your body, reaching kind of more inwards, I guess, or outwards with your legs. So if you go a little faster, it might look like you're just kind of rotating your body a little bit. You kind of just explore, see how you can move. Okay, and just back to the middle. Okay, so we have 2 minutes left. Okay, let's try to move upper and lower body together. Okay, so let's start off with just stepping and just reaching to our forehead. Okay, just getting more muscle groups working together. Okay, so our body will need more oxygen. So our heart also probably has to work a little harder as well. Okay, a little bit harder. See if you can alternate between which one is up top, and you might feel your abdominal muscles tightening a little bit. You might feel your body twisting a little bit, okay, because our arms are kind of throwing our body around, and all these muscles have to stabilize it. So the function of the muscles around our trunk is to stabilize our body. Okay, so let's do this stuff for fun. Okay, see if you can move one a little bit slower than the other. Okay, so a little bit of a left brain, right brain coordination going on. So one arm a little bit faster than the other. Okay, and see if you can replicate this in the other arm. So somehow this side's a little bit harder for me to manage. It might be different for you, but kind of just do this for almost just for fun. Okay, so shoulders might be a little tired by now, so let's shake it out. Okay, let's just move the bicep, which is the front muscle, and the tricep. So just kind of move it up and down. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, so let's just do the same thing as well. So see if you can move one side fast, okay, and the other side a little bit slower. So remember that brain is across, so our right brain controls our left hand, and our left brain controls our right. Okay, so when you do different things, different brain things on each hand, you're trying to see if you can use both at the same time. So definitely this side is a lot harder for me. Okay, now I think I got it. Oh, kind of lost it. Okay, but once again, kind of do this for fun. Also train the coordination between left and right. Okay, so good job, everyone. That was 10 minutes. So let's keep moving while we just slow down the pace. Okay, and remember to drink enough water. So we lose water, of course, when we are sweating, but we also breathe it out as well, which is why if you step outside in winter and you breathe out, there's a mist in the air because our breath also has moisture. So when you breathe a little faster, we're also losing more water that way as well. Okay, so let's shake it out first. In the meantime, we can get ready for the muscle strengthening part. Doesn't hurt to have a chair today, but I don't think we're going to be using it much. Okay, so the first one we're going to do is a variation of the bow and arrow. So the bow and arrow, when someone draws a bow, they're not just using their arms, they actually want to be using their back, which is a much bigger muscle. Okay, so what we're going to do with the arms is that with holding a band, you can either double it up if you want to, or just keep it as a single strand. Okay, and what you're going to do is going to pull. Once one arm is going to stay roughly in the same place, the other side is going to be elbowing someone behind you. But the thing to pay attention to is you're not only pulling your arms, but see if you can almost open up the chest. So you should see the band getting closer to your chest. I don't know which angle is a little better. Okay, so not just this way, but also try to see if you can get the band closer to your chest. But we're also going to add a little bit of coordination today. Okay, so we're going to do something on the feet as well. We're going to take one step back. So you're going to take, so I'm going to be pulling my right arm, but I'm going to be stepping back the left. Okay, so you're going to be doing something like that. Okay, so take a step back one to the left and pull the right. Okay, so what that's doing is that it's limiting the amount of rotation we're doing through kind of the hips. So it kind of exaggerates what we need to do for our back. Okay, so once again, I'm pulling with my right, but I'm stepping back with my left leg. Okay, and the same thing, but opposite. So I'm going to pull my left arm and step back with the right leg. Okay, so a little bit something to think about. Oops, wrong way. So the opposite hand and leg. Okay, so let's call this number 5, 6, 7. Also a little bit of left brain, right brain training. Okay, because we have to move different sides of the body in the same motion. I'll call that 9, 10. Okay, so we aim for 10 to 16. 11, 12. So at this point, I feel like I can at most do maybe 5 more, maybe. Okay, so I'm going to choose to kind of stop there. Okay, so once again, we don't need to push ourselves to the very limit, okay, but roughly in the range that we want. So once again, for most people, maybe kind of 8 to 15 repetitions. And since we're going both sides, that you can have to double that a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, so that was the mostly kind of shoulders. Also, you're doing it right. Also a little bit of the kind of upper back or the mid back area. Okay, so for the next one, we're gonna do something similar to what we did last time. So for this one, if you want, you can have a chair in front, just so you have something to push up off if you want. So your hands can assist a little bit. So if you're rating, you can also kind of pull yourself up as well. That makes it a little easy. So last time we did kind of a single leg, so kind of squat there, step back, and then stand up. So this time we're gonna do something slightly different. So instead of forward and back, more forward and back when it goes side to side. So we're gonna start off our feet a little bit wider than what we usually do. So usually squatting, we want it just a little bit wider than the hips. This time, let's have it at least shoulder width apart, maybe even a little wider than that. Toes kind of pointing out 30 degrees, 45 degrees roughly. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna squat down first. So key things to remember, we're gonna stick your bum out, like we're going to the bathroom or sitting on a chair. Okay, so don't jam your knees forward. We don't go to the bathroom this way. We have to actually push the bum back so we can sit on the seat. Okay, so when you go down, don't go down too low at first. Okay, but now I'm gonna shift your weight a little bit sideways, just put a little more load. It doesn't have to all the way, just a little bit over so you feel more weight on one leg. Okay, and then set it back up. Okay, so the lower you go, the harder it is. The more sideways you go, the harder it is as well. Okay, still try to get your knees to push out a little bit more. So your knees to still be roughly over your feet. Okay, so once again, it's kind of going down. Shift your weight a little over to one leg. So this leg is working a little harder. Okay, and then step back up in the middle. Okay, so if you want to make it harder, go down a little bit more. Okay, so you're traveling, you're going through bigger range of motion, or you can just shift your weights more over to one leg. That might be a little harder, because you're putting much more pressure on one knee. Okay, so if your knee problem, don't go too far, just a little bit off to one side and then back up. Okay, I'm gonna call that number 5. Okay, back there. And 6. So that's why sometimes we don't even care how many you do. It's like how many more times can I still continue. Okay, and for most people, we want to stop when we can do at most kind of 3 to 5 times. Because that can be more meaningful for our training as well. And another thing to be mindful of, see where your weight is on your feet. So some people put their weight up on their toes. We want it actually further back. Okay, so I'm going to call this number 8. 9. 10. Okay, so once again, the actual number might not matter as much. We care like how many more times you can still do. And for this one, it might actually feels a little easier because we actually kind of alternating between the 2 legs a little bit. Okay, but I'm going to stop there. Okay, so if it's for me, it might be more reasonable to actually, or more effective to actually hold a weight in front because it's feeling kind of easy for me. Okay, so now for the balance exercise, let's just do a little bit of weight shifting today. So this is a variation of the inline walk. Okay, so we're still going to actually still have a chair or wall beside you just in case. Okay, you're going to put your feet in a straight line, okay, or be slightly wider apart, depending on how I feel. So see if you can use less of your hands first. Okay, I'm going to actually turn this way. Okay, so first thing, see if you can just stand in place first, okay, and afterwards, see if you can just kind of practice shifting your weight forward and back. Okay, so at the beginning, it might be a smaller motion. Okay, but see if you can really go up on your toes at the front. Okay, and see if you can really shift your weight more over to your heels at the back. Okay, so see if you can exaggerate it. Oops, that's my phone. I should probably. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so shifting your weight forward. Okay, so now see if you can almost take a little bit of a detour. So see if you can imagine shifting your weight ever so slightly off to one side. Okay, and then come back. Okay, so it's a very small motion, but imagine you're trying to put more weight instead of going straight forward and back. See if you can do almost like a very tiny loop. Just shift your weight a little bit over to that side a little bit more. Okay, and come back. Okay, and also the same thing on the other side. Okay, so at first, just balance first. Okay, and then afterwards, see if you can shift your weight just straight front to back. Okay, and afterwards, see if you can go outside a little bit more and then come back. Oops, so that time I went a little too far. Okay, so it's a kind of small motion. It might actually be easier, much easier if you have your feet separate a little more. Let's kind of play around. It's really a small motion. You probably saw that not moving much, but I can try to really just shift my weight over one little bit and then come back. Okay, so check it out. Okay, and we'll do the second set of each exercise. Okay, so once again, first one is the bow and arrow, but with a little bit of coordination between the feet and the hands. So remember, it's opposite hands and feet, foot that is moving. Okay, so if you pull in your right, you're stepping back with your left. Okay, so kind of pay attention how difficult it was or how easy it was last time. Okay, and make adjustments. So I'm going to make it a little bit harder for myself. Okay, so once again, pulling my right, and I'm stepping back on my left. Okay, and I'm just alternating between the two sides. We've called this number 5, 6, change the angle a little bit, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So primarily it might be the shoulders that feels like it's working hard, but hopefully just a little bit of your mid back as well. Okay, so second one, once again, is the kind of wide squat, and then a little bit of a weight shift to the side, sending back up. Okay, so I'm going to make it a little bit harder for myself. So I'm going to grab my kettlebell over here. So hopefully I didn't pick a weight that's too heavy. Okay, but if you're weights at home as well, you can also just kind of hug it to your chest. Okay, so a little bit wider stance than usual. Should be maybe a little wider than your shoulders. Okay, squat it down, shift your waist sideways, and then come back up. This is actually definitely a challenging way for me. And squatting down, shift a little bit sideways, coming back up. Okay, and 3, 4. Kind of regretting my choice of weight right now. So hopefully I can make it to 10, 6, 7, 8. You can kind of tell that it's hard for me because I'm not talking as much. Okay, I'm gonna call it a day at 10. You guys can do more. Okay, so that was the second set. Actually, we reserved the balance one. How have you? That was 20 kilograms, so that will be 45 pounds or so, 44 pounds. So is that that's okay. No, that's okay. That's I was regretting it. Yeah, yeah. You can do that if you want, but try to see if you can just stand up. Yeah, I think it might because it was heavy for me, so I might have actually shifted back a little more. But even you can. It's actually still useful to be able to go sideways. So imagine you have to pick up something off the side. Let's say you pick up something off the side, you're gonna standing up with one foot anyway. So that's why if it's not like very like if it's like this far, maybe it'd be better to go back. But even if you stand up, you're still going back in the middle at the top. But it's not a bad thing to be able to just, let's say you're picking up something off to the side, you might have to do something like this anyway, where you have to push off of one leg more than the other. So it's just kind of replicating what we might do in our day-to-day lives. So yeah, if you want, you can squat down sideways, come back and stand up, but it's not a bad idea to be able to just pick up something and stand up like that. So it's not very exaggerated where your back is like really bent over like that. It's usually okay. So that's why the posture of the spine stays the same, but you're just putting a little bit more weight on the one leg and then stand back up with it. Okay, so let's do the balance one more time. This one, let's add a little bit of pattern to it. So instead of just going back and forth, what we're going to do is that we are going to go forward, back, and take a step forward. Okay, and then once again, forward, back, okay, and take a step forward. Okay, but see, once again, see if you can exaggerate the motion, so really put your weight towards the back front leg. Really see if you can put your weight back, and you put your weight there, if you can lift that leg up easily, the opposite leg. Okay, and then step forward, forward, back, step forward. Okay, and see if you can just do this kind of smoothly. Yeah, we're in a room, so I'm going to go backwards. So backwards are the same. We kind of we back, forward, and then back. Okay, see if you can do this smoothly. Okay, just kind of play around with how you're doing it. Okay, so once again, you can change how you're doing it by looking towards the side, and that might make it all of a sudden more challenging. Okay, and if you're looking side to side, that might also make it more difficult already. Okay, or even looking towards your feet versus looking up the ceiling. You can even try closing one eye. Okay, that also disrupts the balance a little bit. You can, of course, try to do this a little quicker, and that might actually make it a little easier, actually, because you have more momentum to kind of control your balance. Okay, whereas if you go slowly, sometimes your muscles have to work a little bit harder to control. Okay, and let's shake it out a little bit now. Okay, so we're 15 minutes left. Okay, so let's go on to the stretching part. We can do that part one more time, Miro. But let's do something else first to stretch it out. So we did kind of more something like that. So let's stretch out that muscle there as well. So what we need is that we're going to actually have to find a door frame or something sturdy that you can hold on to. So if you can see, so this is my door frame. It's not actually a door frame, but it's just something you can actually hook your hands behind. So maybe I'll turn the camera a little bit. So imagine this is a door, kind of reach into the frame so you can actually hook your fingers on the opposite side a little bit. Okay, so we are trying to stretch out the muscle that connects the arm to the back. Okay, so hook your fingers on the frame first. Okay, and what you're going to do is so this is my right hand. I'm going to lean my body towards the right side and a little bit backwards. Okay, so I'm just going to try to lean away from where I'm holding on to and pushing my butt back a little bit as well. And you should feel kind of a stretch all the way from the middle of the back, kind of all the way up to the arms a little bit. Okay, so kind of just lean, kind of find, you can explore different air, which kind of direction you're pulling, just so you can see if you can feel a stretch kind of roughly around here and also the back. You can, if you go upright, you might feel it in the middle more. If you push the butt back, you might feel it kind of a little bit lower. Okay, so once again, we're going to try to hold here, find a spot where you feel a little bit more tension. Okay, and see if you can hold it for a little longer. Okay, so use a breath here. So take a breath in, take a breath out. Okay, so once again, we're going to use our strength a little bit now. So what you're going to do is that you're going to try to pull your, kind of try to imagine trying to rip your door frame off the wall. Okay, so you're going to try to actually pull with your fingers. Okay, and relax. As you relax, try to push your door frame away from you. Okay, so what you're doing is that you're kind of deepening the stretch. Okay, once again, stay here for a little longer. Okay, and once again, let's do it one more time. Imagine you try to rip your door frame off the wall. Okay, and then opposite, try to push your door frame away. Okay, and then slowly come back. Okay, pause for a second or so. Okay, and shake it out. Okay, so what we're doing is that, so we're gonna try, once again, first we're gonna stretch it out first, and then afterwards we try to pull. So using the same muscle, we're gonna try to contract. Okay, and then we're trying to do the opposite. We're actually trying to actually reach further. Okay, so that's why we're pulling into the door frame and then pushing away as well. So we're trying to engage the muscles here, okay, and then engage the opposite muscle to reach a little bit further. Okay, so let's do the same thing on the opposite arm. So you might have to figure out which way you can safely do this. Okay, so for you, you might have to go outside on the opposite side of the door frame, so you can so you have something to grab onto the opposite arm. Okay, so once again, this is my left arm. I'm going to shift my weight also to the left. Okay, and maybe a little bit backwards until I feel a stretch in my kind of armpit, upper back, maybe even a little lower down to the lower back as well, but it's a little bit off to the side. And once again, we're going to stay here. You're going to find a spot where you might feel a little bit more tension first. I'm going to stay here for kind of at least 30 seconds. All the meanwhile, we're trying to just deep breath in and out. Okay, once again, we're going to use the strength a little bit. Imagine trying to rip the door frame off the wall. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Do the opposite. Try to push the door frame away. Okay, let's do it one more time. We're going to pull the door frame off. And try to push that away. Okay, and coming back out. Okay, deep breath. Out. Okay, so after we stretch, let's explore, see if it feels any different. So we repeat the thing we did during warm-up. So the one we draw a big circle all the way around. Okay, but this time let's try to do the opposite direction. So instead of starting off in the front, we're going to start off in the back. Okay, so once again, shake everything out first. Okay, so this time we're going to turn our thumbs inwards. You're going to reach back until you get to your limit. So at some point, your arm is not going to go any further back. Okay, when you get to that point, rotate your thumb out. Okay, then your arm can start to move a little more further back and also a little higher up. Okay, still try to push your thumb back. Okay, so I'm actively trying to reach a little further. So I'm trying to push my thumb back here. Okay, and I'm going to try to start reaching. Okay, imagine smelling your armpits. Okay, try to reach with fingertips. Okay, so I'm holding my hand here just so I know I'm not rotating through my entire body. So I want to be able to see my hand in the camera or a mirror. So I know I'm not kind of cheating in this case. Okay, so one more time, you turn your thumb inwards. Okay, once again, work just within your kind of your pain-free range. Okay, once you reach your limit, start to turn your thumb to the front and towards the back again. Okay, try to reach back with your thumb, reach back your thumb whilst keeping your arms straight. Okay, try to reach up and inwards. Okay, so if you feel like you're using your chest muscle while you're here. Okay, maybe just do it 3 times. Okay, so take a breath in between though. Okay, because we're actually constantly kind of engaging muscles. Okay, so thumbs in, reaching back, get to your limit. Okay, then start to turn your thumb out. Okay, try to reach back, but raising the arms. Okay, thumbs back. Squeeze. Imagine trying to squeeze a balloon into your chest. Okay, coming out. Okay, so we're just really trying to work on the range that we have. Okay, so a lot of times when we run the range, we use other parts. So this time we try to stabilize everything else, but move through the shoulders. Okay, let's do the same thing on the other side as well. Okay, so let's just shake it up first for a second. Okay, and once again, thumbs is turn inwards until you get to your limit. Okay, then start to turn rotate your arm and your thumb out. Okay, all the meanwhile trying to reach back and up. Okay, thumb should be pointing backwards by now. Okay, try to smell your armpit. Okay, compress your arm towards your chest. Okay, and let's do it 2 more times. So thumbs back. Start to rotate your thumbs out. Okay, see if you can still have your belly button facing forward. Okay, still try to really reach your thumb back. Squeeze a balloon into your chest. Reach towards the ground. Okay, one last time. Okay, reaching back with your thumbs in, thumbs out. Reach back, reach upwards. Try to get your elbow to almost to reach towards the opposite shoulders. Reach downwards. Okay, and shake everything out. Okay, and just take a couple of deep breaths. That can have a lot of tension because we're constantly trying to pull ourselves into a bigger range. Okay, so make sure you take a couple of deep breaths in and out. Shake your shoulders out. Okay, so let's just do one for the leg. So this one is just a stagger stance. So try to have 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Okay, and we're just gonna have the foot, both feet pointing forward. Okay, this time try to pull your tailbone down, pull your belt buckle up until you feel a stretch in the front. Okay, and just try to straighten out the back leg. Okay, I'm going to hang out here for a little bit. Back heel can be off the floor, whatever is comfortable for you. Okay, but you feel a little bit of a stretch in the front there. Okay, we try breathe a little deeper and you might start to feel a stretch here. Okay, so let's keep it simple for this one. We can just switch legs. Okay, once again, bring your belt buckle up, pull your tailbone down towards the floor, keep your back leg kind of straight. Deep breath into our belly. Okay, and come back out. Okay, and shake everything out. Okay, let's just take, once again, a couple of deep breaths. Okay, so really pay attention this time by putting our fingers here. Let's see if you can breathe into our belly or fingers. Okay, so you breathe in, your fingers gets pushed out. Okay, so you breathe out, your fingers sink into your belly. Okay, see if you can get into maybe a taller posture with your shoulders relaxed. Okay, your head towards your shoulders. I need to really turn off that function on my phone so it doesn't keep doing that. Okay, now see if you can slow down your breathing a little bit. Okay, so really We take a little longer breathing in. So let's say 4 seconds. So breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding for 1, 2. Okay, and breathing out for 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, hold. Okay, breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, hold. Breathing out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, hold. Okay, and just back to regular breathing. So that's what we call box breathing. So usually they say kind of maybe 3 seconds in, hold for 3 seconds, breathe out for 3 seconds, and then hold for 3 seconds again. And it's just a very conscious, deliberate way to kind of slow down our breathing. Because when we breathe fast, we tend to be in a stressful situation. So if you breathe a little slower, it has the opposite effect and calm our body down. Okay, so thank you for coming, everyone. Hope for everyone that celebrates Lunar New Year, Happy New Year, and see everyone next week. Thank you. Take care.